Down in the deep ocean, there is a world where sunlight never reaches. No colors, no warmth, just pressure, darkness, and creatures that look like they were never meant to exist. Here, survival follows different rules. Some animals create their own light, others have teeth so large they cannot even close their mouths, and some don't even look like living things at all. What makes this world truly unsettling is not just how strange these creatures are. It is how perfectly they are designed for a place humans were never meant to see. In this video, we are diving into the deep sea to uncover creatures that live in complete darkness and the terrifying ways they survive. In the deep sea, life does not just survive, it adapts in ways that feel almost unreal. With no sunlight, no plants, and barely any food, every creature here has evolved something extreme. Some use light to hunt, some rely on massive jaws and needle-like teeth. Others survive by moving slowly, conserving every bit of energy. This is not just a list of strange animals. This is a journey into one of the most hostile environments on Earth, where every creature tells a story of survival in total darkness. The anglerfish looks like something from a nightmare, and in many ways it is. Living deep in the ocean where sunlight never reaches, this fish has evolved one of the most disturbing hunting methods in nature. A glowing lure extends from its head, produced by bioluminescent bacteria. In total darkness, that faint light becomes irresistible to smaller fish. They swim closer, thinking they have found food, but instead they become it. Its mouth is massive compared to its body, filled with long, sharp teeth that curve inward. Once prey goes in, there is no escape. What makes the anglerfish even more unusual is its reproduction. In some species, the much smaller male permanently attaches to the female's body, eventually fusing with her. In the deep sea, even survival comes at a cost that feels almost alien. The gulper eel, also known as the pelican eel, looks like it swallowed a balloon that never deflated. Its most striking feature is its enormous mouth, which can open far wider than its own body. This allows it to scoop up almost anything in its path, including prey larger than itself. In a place where food is extremely scarce, this adaptation can mean the difference between life and death. Unlike many predators, the gulper eel does not rely on speed. Instead, it drifts slowly through the darkness, waiting for the right moment. It also has a long, whip-like tail that can produce light, possibly to attract prey in the pitch-black environment. It may not look fast or aggressive, but in the deep sea, patience can be more powerful than strength. The fang-toothed fish is small, but its teeth tell a very different story. It has some of the largest teeth relative to body size of any fish in the ocean. They are so long that special pockets in its skull are needed just to close its mouth. At first glance, it looks like a creature built only for violence, but the truth is more complex. Despite its terrifying appearance, the fangtooth is not a fast swimmer. It relies on ambush, using the darkness to its advantage. Its small eyes suggest it does not depend heavily on sight. Instead, it likely senses movement in the water around it. In a world where visibility is almost zero, sometimes the scariest predator is the one you never see coming. The viperfish looks like it was designed to frighten anything that crosses its path. It has a long, thin body and a mouth filled with needle-like teeth so large they cannot fit inside its head. These teeth stay exposed at all times, ready to trap anything that comes too close. In the deep sea, where food is rare, missing a meal is not an option. What makes the viperfish even more effective is its use of light. Like the anglerfish, it produces bioluminescence. A glowing organ near its dorsal fin acts as a lure, drawing prey in through the darkness. Once the target is close enough, the attack is sudden and precise. It spends most of its life drifting in the deep, waiting in silence. In a place where every mistake is fatal, patience becomes a deadly weapon. The goblin shark is often called a living fossil, and one look explains why. Its long, flattened snout and pale, almost pink skin make it look completely different from most sharks. But its most shocking feature is hidden until the moment it attacks. The goblin shark has a jaw that can shoot forward in an instant. This rapid extension allows it to snatch prey before it has any chance to react. The movement is so fast that it feels almost mechanical, like a spring-loaded trap. Living in deep waters, it relies on electroreceptors in its snout to detect prey in the darkness. It does not need speed. It only needs one precise moment. And when that moment comes, the strike is impossible to escape. The giant isopod looks like an oversized version of a common pill bug, but its lifestyle is far more extreme. These creatures live on the ocean floor where food can be incredibly scarce. To survive, they have developed an ability that feels almost unbelievable. They can go for long periods without eating, conserving energy until the next meal appears. When food does arrive, such as a dead whale sinking to the bottom, giant isopods gather and feed aggressively. Their strong mouth parts allow them to tear into tough material that many other creatures cannot handle. Their armored bodies protect them in a harsh environment filled with pressure and predators. They may not chase their prey, but in the deep sea, endurance can be just as powerful as speed. The barreleye fish does not look real at first glance. Its head is completely transparent, like a glass dome. Inside, you can clearly see its eyes, which are shaped like green tubes. For a long time, scientists thought these eyes only pointed upward. But observations have shown something even more unusual. The barreleye can rotate its eyes. This allows it to look upward for the faint silhouettes of prey, and then shift its gaze forward when it is time to feed. In the deep sea, where light is almost non-existent, this flexibility is incredibly valuable. Its transparent head may also help protect its eyes from stinging prey, like jellyfish. In a world without light, even the ability to look around becomes a powerful survival tool. The frilled shark feels like a creature from another time. It has a long, eel-like body and rows of needle-shaped teeth arranged in a way that traps prey easily. Its name comes from the frilled appearance of its gill slits, which give it an almost prehistoric look. This shark is rarely seen, living in deep waters far below the surface. Instead of chasing prey over long distances, it is believed to ambush, using sudden bursts of movement. Its flexible jaws allow it to swallow prey whole, even if the prey is relatively large. Everything about it suggests an ancient design that has survived with very little change. It is not just a deep-sea predator, it is a reminder that some creatures have been perfect for their environment for millions of years. The Dumbo octopus looks gentle, almost cartoon-like, but its life is anything but easy. Named after the ear-like fins on its head, this octopus moves by flapping them slowly through the water. Unlike many other octopuses, it does not rely on jet propulsion as much, which helps conserve energy in a place where food is limited. It lives at extreme depths, making it one of the deepest living octopuses known. Down there, it feeds on small invertebrates it finds along the seafloor. There are no sudden chases, no dramatic attacks, just quiet movement and careful survival in a world that offers very little. Sometimes the most unexpected creatures are the ones that endure the longest. The vampire squid may have one of the most dramatic names in the ocean, but its behavior tells a different story. Despite the name, it does not hunt large prey or drink blood. Instead, it feeds on organic debris drifting through the water, often called marine snow. In the deep sea, even tiny particles can be enough to survive. When threatened, it does not attack. It turns itself inside out, exposing spiny projections in a defensive display. It can also produce bioluminescent light to confuse predators and escape. Living in low-oxygen environments where many predators cannot survive, the vampire squid has adapted to conditions that would be deadly to others. It does not need to be aggressive. It survives by being different. In the deep sea, survival is not about strength alone. It is about adaptation. Every creature you have seen lives in a place where light does not exist, food is never guaranteed, and pressure would crush most life on the surface. And yet they do not just survive. They evolve into forms that seem almost impossible. Some use light to hunt, some rely on patience. Others survive by becoming nearly invisible or completely different from anything we expect. The deeper we look, the more we realize something unsettling. These creatures are not strange for their world. We are. So the next time you look out at the ocean, ask yourself this: how much of life is still hidden in the darkness below? And if we keep exploring, what else might we find? If you enjoyed this journey into the deep, make sure to subscribe and stay curious. There is always more waiting beneath the surface.